We definitely need to protect clients better. We've had a number of failures in the financial services industry, not so much in South Africa actually, across the world, and that has brought this whole new consumerism to the fore. So, do we need legislation? Yes, probably we do. Is RDR going to be this saving grace? Probably not. And I think that is what we are trying to do now. We are interacting a lot with Treasury and with the FSB to try and ensure that the RDR, the Retail Distribution Review in the end, is the piece of legislation that benefits the consumer and not just changes everything for the sake of changing it. I think that is a very, very important part, and it's something that we need to question everything about. If we look, for example, at the binder agreements, we understand that there are reasons and there are things that went wrong with some of the binders out there. The problem, however, is that we feel that some of the requirements that's now been put into the Phase 1 RDR doesn't create the level playing field and is actually benefiting the larger insurer to the cost of the advisor and to the cost of the smaller insurer. So we believe that we probably need to do some more research, we need to do some more work behind the scenes to go and calculate, does this really create that level playing field? One thing that we need to accept is that regulation is here to stay. We also need to accept that it is going to have a hell of a lot of paperwork coming with it. So what we need to do as advisors is we need to work smarter. We need to focus much more on digitization. We need to get our systems better. And the most important part, because what all this legislation is focusing at, aiming at, is towards ensuring that the customer gets a better deal. So if we focus, if we become client-centric, in a way, our whole way of doing things will then be in line with RDR and make it much easier to comply. The problem with RDR at this stage and the problem with the implementation is that there are so many moving parts that need to fit into each other. We've just had the changeover in Treasury, and the Treasury has pointed out that from their side they are now looking at economic transformation. So suddenly Treasury's focus has changed. That creates different focuses for the FSB. So I can actually say that I believe that it is probably going to be even a bit longer than the FSB itself is at this stage intending it to be. We've already seen that Phase 1 will probably, should have happened now in May. It's probably going to happen in July, August, and also even then maybe in a much limited state, because there are research that needs to happen. There are things that we still need to find out, get more certainty about, and then of course, as I said, there's a lot of these things that need to link together at the same time. Well, what happened there was that it created a very big advice gap because of the cost, because we need to realize that all of this legislation is coming with a cost to the advisor. The advisor is saying there's a certain client that this is not worth my while doing anymore. And we see advisors moving up the net worth client base, and that leaves a large portion of clients that doesn't get advice. Now, when we look at what the South African government want, they want financial inclusion. It is one of the big risks that we see, and one of the things that we would need to address within RDR going forward to ensure we don't have the same problem. I think it's one of the things that's made PSG as good as we are. We have probably for the past 8 years really focused on a fee service. Now, why is that so important? Well, if you are being charged the fee, the only way that you can continue charging the fee is continuing to keep the client happy. And I think that is one of the big things that it changes the way that you work with your client. You realize that this is now going to be a relationship that continues past the first production or the first selling of the policy. And that is good. So the moment that you start focusing on it and changing your style, I believe you are going to build a practice that lasts, and also a practice that earns more in the end of the day, because you do not have to. One of the nice things that actually happens is that you do not wake up in the morning and say, oh hell, I've not earned anything this week yet. You know that you've got money in the bank. The way that that changes your attitude towards clients and your attitude towards business is also quite interesting. So you come in with I can give advice. I don't need to sell today to make money. So those are the things that I believe is going to be very important going forward in a post-RDR advisor.